What's up, everyone? We're going to be going through the best NBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now, don't forget to like this video, as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day. So make sure to like this video, clicking that button down below. And if we get 500 likes on this video, I will do another video for tomorrow. Now, I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now, a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We actually only got one pick wrong and got 22 right, which is a 98% win rate. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 98% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak. But if you want to get a 98% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets, and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which will be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure you join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,620 just yesterday. Another member who won $210 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Del Childress, who actually said rolling it. So shouts out to him. And if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than Tony Bradley. So as you all know, Tony Bradley, great player, and this one is for 6.5 points, and this one is for less. Now looking at Tony Bradley, we actually have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, we see on November 6th, faced off against Brooklyn, had 4 points there. November 9th, faced off against Denver, had 6 points. Then November 10th, faced off against the Golden State Warriors, had 6 points as well there. 8 points against Utah on November 12th, and then 10 points against Phoenix on November 14th. So definitely has been a very interesting time for Tony Bradley coming into this next game, as we do know that he has gone on the under in 3 out of the last 5. His average over the last 5 is also 6.8. Now I do have to, let you know as well that this average is a little bit high because he has had some outlier games, especially the most recent one against Phoenix. But when we look at Indiana, they do have themselves a very good matchup coming into this next game against none other than actually the Toronto Raptors. Now, looking at both these teams and looking at where both of them do actually rank, we do actually see that, starting off with Indiana come in at the 14th spot in the Eastern Conference. They actually have a record of 1 win and 11 losses. That's a 8.3% win percentage, so very low. 1-4 from home, 0-7 from away, and are currently on a 6-game losing streak. Now they face off against none other than actually the Toronto Raptors, where the Raptors rank 7th in the Eastern Conference. So Raptors definitely had a really good start. They currently have a record of 7 wins and 5 losses, a 58.3% win percentage, also 2-2 from home, 5-3 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. We have actually seen that Tony Bradley and also Indiana face off against a Raptors team where Raptors do actually rank, starting off with points allowed. We obviously do see that Raptors do rank 15th. So why do we like the under for this situation? Now, Raptors don't really rank too bad when it comes to restricting points, but where we see the massive sort of makeup for, Toronto, and why we are expecting them to really restrict someone like Pacers, Tony Bradley, is because when we actually look at Toronto, they do a fantastic job at restricting points to the big man position. Whether that's forward or center, we see them do a great job, and Tony Bradley tends to actually, float between those two positions. So that's why coming into this game, we do very much like the under for this one. Now, for someone like Tony, we do also know that, when we look at this matchup between Indiana and Toronto do like to play a little bit more of a slower pace type game. And since they do like to play a slower pace type game, we are expecting coming into this matchup, Toronto to slow down the fast paced Pacers. So for that reason, we are expecting less volume because less pace equals less volume and less opportunity to score. So all that being said, we definitely like the under for this one. So Tony Bradley, 6.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now getting to the next one, we're going to be talking about none other than Aaron Gordon. So Aaron Gordon, great player as we all know, and this one is for 5.5 rebounds and this one is for more. Now, looking at Aaron Gordon, we have seen him go on the over in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see that, actually on November 6th, faced off against Miami, had 6 rebounds there. 3 rebounds against Golden State Warriors on November 8th. Then 0 rebounds against Indiana on November 9th. And then 7 rebounds against Sacramento on November 12th. And November 13th, faced off against LA Clippers and had 5 rebounds there. So, very, very interesting to see. Obviously, looking at that, we have seen not only just Aaron Gordon do very well, but we also do know that Aaron Gordon has had a little bit of an up and down when it actually comes to his rebounding line. Now, when we look at this more in depth, we do also see that we all know that Denver faced off against a Minnesota Timberwolves team, where looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with actually Denver Nuggets. Denver come in at the 2nd spot in the Western Conference. They actually have a record of 9 wins and 2 losses. That's an 81.8% win percentage. And they also have a 6-0 record and 3-2 away record. So, 9-2 all in all, however, 9 wins, 2 losses, a 6-win streak they are currently on, and they currently actually have the biggest win streak or the longest win streak out of any teams in the Western Conference. I face off against a Timberwolves team that have also played very well. Timberwolves find themselves in the 5th spot in the Western Conference, where they actually have 8 wins, 4 losses, a 66.7% win percentage, and are 3-2 at home, 5-2 from away, and are currently on a 4-game win streak. So it's definitely been really interesting to see there. Now, coming into this one, we do see that when it comes to Minnesota Timberwolves and when it comes to rebounds allowed, we do see that Timberwolves rank 13th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So they actually don't rank too well. And on top of that, they also do a very poor job at restricting rebounds to the forward position. And we are expecting someone like Aaron Gordon to be able to take advantage of that. Now, Aaron Gordon has definitely been, I would say, pretty lackluster in the rebounding department at times, but he has faced off against some pretty tough defending and specifically, defending rebounding teams. And it definitely has taken a hit to his rebounding for sure. But coming into an easier matchup like Minnesota, we are definitely expecting the over for someone like this. And we definitely see him going on the over for this rebounding line, no doubt about it. Now, when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the over as well. So that works out, in our favor there. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the over for this one. So Aaron Gordon, 5.5 rebounds for more, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting to the next one, we're going to be talking about Luka Doncic. So we do know Luka Doncic has been playing absolutely fantastic for the Lakers. However, this one is for 3.5 3-pointers made, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Luka Doncic, we have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, we see on November 6th, faced off against San Antonio Spurs, actually had 4 3-pointers made there. November 9th, faced off against Atlanta, had 4 3-pointers made. Then 5 3-pointers made against Charlotte on November 11th. November 13th, faced off against OKC, had 1 3-pointer made, and then 3 3-pointers made against Pelicans on November 15th. So it's definitely been, really interesting for Luka Doncic. He has had some really, really big games, but has recently, had some pretty lackluster ones against OKC and also New Orleans Pelicans. So he's definitely struggled a little bit there. Now, coming into this one, we do also know that LA Lakers face off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, looking at this matchup and looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with LA Lakers. LA Lakers have definitely done a fantastic job coming in at the 4th spot in the actual Western Conference. They have a record of 9 wins and 4 losses, a 69.2% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 3-2 at home, 6-2 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, they face off against, an actual Milwaukee Bucks team that have also been playing well, where they actually rank 5th in the Eastern Conference, have 8 wins, 5 losses, a 61.5% win percentage, and on top of that are 5-2 at home, 3-3 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also see that when we look at Milwaukee Bucks, First, looking at 3-point percentage allowed, we do see that the Bucks rank 6th. So very, very good at 3-point percentage allowed. When we look at 3-point attempts allowed, they do allow a little bit more, but still rank in the top 10 as they rank 10th in 3-point attempts allowed. And then 3 points made allowed, we also do see that the Bucks surprisingly also rank, very, very well as a rank 7th. So they rank in the top 10 in all 3 categories, whether it's percentage, attempts, and also makes. And that's just a no-brainer to us on why we do like the under for this. Luka is also coming off 2 games where he definitely has struggled from the field, especially on that 3-point line, and that's why coming into this next one, we do very much like the under for it. So I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for someone like Luka. As we mentioned before, when we look at what the bookies are saying with this one, we also see the bookies agree with us and have the favor for the under as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that pick. So for that reason, Luka Doncic 3.5 3-pointers made for less, I think is a fantastic pick.
So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than DeAndre Hunter. Now DeAndre Hunter, great player for none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 18.9 points, 4.9 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and has also had a 43.8% field goal percentage. Now, he ranks 44th when it comes to points, 96th when it comes to rebs, 90th when it comes to assists, and 117th when it comes to field goal percentage. So it definitely has been an interesting time for DeAndre Hunter. Now, Hunter does face off against none other than the actual, Memphis Grizzlies, which is definitely going to be an exciting game for sure. But DeAndre Hunter has taken on a much bigger role, for Cleveland this season compared to last, and he has remained very, very consistent, so that's great to see from there. But looking at the matchup between Memphis and Cleveland, starting off with Cleveland currently rank 4th in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 8 wins and 5 losses. That's a 61.5% win percentage, and on top of that, they are 4-2 from home, 4-3 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So it has been very, very interesting for them there. Now looking at their matchup, which is the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies have unfortunately struggled so far this season, actually averaging, a 30.8% win percentage, and are also 4-9 from their record. So they currently rank 11th in the Western Conference, and they also have a record of 3-5 from home, 1-4 from away, and are currently on a 3-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, when we look at Memphis Grizzlies defensively, we do also see that Memphis Grizzlies, when it comes to points allowed, they unfortunately don't really rank too well, as they rank 24th. Then also assists allowed, we also do know that the Grizzlies rank 23rd. And then rebounds allowed, we know that the Grizzlies also rank pretty poorly at 26th. So, Grizzlies unfortunately rank really, really poor in all 3 categories. And that's why coming into this matchup, we do very much like the over for this situation here. We definitely see someone like DeAndre Hunter taking advantage of this and going on the over. And also to add on top of this, Cleveland have rested, some of their players in the past, whether that's Donovan Mitchell, Garland, all these different types of players. Some are also out with injury. But, when it comes to Cleveland Cavaliers, if they also do rest, a certain player or so, it definitely does help DeAndre Hunter even being able to go on the over even more. But I think overall, even if everyone does hypothetically end up playing for Cleveland Cavaliers, DeAndre Hunter definitely has enough volume, enough usage rates to be able to go on the over here. So when we look at Cleveland over the last 5 games for actually DeAndre Hunter, we do see on the 8th faced off against Washington, had a 148-115 win with 8 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds there. Then on the 9th faced off against Chicago, had a 128-122 win with 29 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds there. Then on the 11th faced off against Miami, had a 140-138 loss with 23 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds there. Then on the 13th faced off against Miami, had a 130-116 win with 21 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, and 16 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds against Toronto with a 126-113 loss. So it's definitely been interesting to see for DeAndre Hunter. Although they have won some, lost some, we have seen DeAndre Hunter's usage rate remain very high, and we've also seen him do a fantastic job, at scoring the ball, rebounding, and playmaking, especially against much easier teams. And with a matchup like Memphis Grizzlies, we definitely see a similar situation there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the over for someone like DeAndre Hunter coming into this matchup. So getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Ajay Mitchell. Now, Ajay Mitchell, great player for none other than Oklahoma City Thunder, and he's done a fantastic job so far this season, actually averaging 16.9 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and is also at a 46.2% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a great job there. And when we look at Ajay Mitchell, we also have seen him rank 56th in points, tied 136th in rebounds, and also 58th when it comes to assists. Now, also 94th in field goal percentage we have seen as well. But looking at Oklahoma City Thunder, we do also know that OKC have themselves a really good matchup against the Charlotte Hornets. Now, looking at both these teams, starting off with OKC, Thunder found themselves in a very, very good position because Thunder currently ranked first in the Western Conference with a record of 12 wins and 1 loss. So they actually have a 92.3% win percentage. Not only that, but they also have the best record out of all 30 NBA teams. And on top of that, they are 6-0 from home and 6-1 from away, and are currently on a 4-game win streak. So they've definitely done very, very good there. But they face off against a Charlotte Hornets team where Charlotte, unfortunately, do rank a lot lower as they rank 12th in the Eastern Conference. Now, they have a record of actually 4 wins and 8 losses. So pretty interesting record there. We also do see when it comes to them that they also have a 33.3% win percentage, 3-3 from home, 1-5 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So pretty interesting to see there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do know that Charlotte Hornets, when it comes to their ranking defensively, we do actually see that the Charlotte Hornets do rank, starting off with points allowed. Hornets unfortunately rank pretty low as a rank 24th. When it comes to assists allowed, we also do see that the Charlotte Hornets rank 27th. And then when it comes to assists allowed, we see that they actually rank second. So surprisingly, they do rank very well in that rebounding category. However, someone like Ajay Mitchell, we do like the over for this situation here, but strictly just for points and assists. And this one is kind of a no-brainer. The big reason why we do like the over is due to the fact that, obviously Charlotte ranked very, very poorly at restricting points and assists, and so we are definitely liking the over for this situation for someone like Ajay Mitchell. Now, Ajay Mitchell does have a really good usage rate in these departments, which I think is fantastic. We have seen him do a very, very good job, and especially taking advantage of teams that have actually done really, poorly defensively at, points and assists. So we definitely see someone like Ajay Mitchell who has seen a little bit of an increase in his usage rate this season compared to any other, and we are expecting him to definitely do a very, very good job there. Now, when we look at actually Ajay Mitchell and his last 5 games, we see on the 6th of this month, faced off against Portland, had a 121-119 loss. Actually had 21 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds there. Then on the 8th, faced off against Sacramento, had a 132-101 win with actually 18 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Then on the 10th, faced off against Memphis, had a 114-100 win with 21 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds there. Then on the 12th, faced off against Golden State Warriors, had a 126-102 win with 17 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. And then also 14 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds against LA Lakers with a 121-92 win. And that was also on the 13th. So we have actually seen, Ajay Mitchell just do a fantastic job, especially against much easier matchups. And we definitely are expecting him to take advantage of this easier matchup. No disrespect to any Charlotte fans, but, Charlotte are really, really poorly defensive at points and also assists. So we definitely see him going on the over in this one. Definitely keep an eye out for someone like Ajay Mitchell coming into this game because we see a lot of value there for him to be able to go on the over. So keep an eye out for Ajay Mitchell's line. As I mentioned, keep an eye out for the line, and if the line is under his averages, then definitely look to go on the over.
Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Tim Hardaway Jr. So, Tim Hardaway Jr., great player, has done a fantastic job for the Denver Nuggets. And we've actually seen him average 11 points, 1.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and has also had a 45.6% field goal percentage. So, he's definitely done a fantastic job there. We actually see him tied 122nd in points, 150th plus in rebounds, 150th plus in assists, and 104th when it comes to field goal percentage. Now, Denver Nuggets do face off against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and looking at where both of these teams do rank, we did mention it earlier, but Denver Nuggets come in at the second spot in the Western Conference. They have a record of 9 wins and 2 losses, 81.8% win percentage, 6-0 from home, 3-2 from away, and are currently on a 6-game win streak. And they face off against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who do rank 5th in the Western Conference, have an 8-4 record, also 3-2 at home, 5-2 from away. So very interesting record there. Now, looking at both of these teams, we do also know that Timberwolves rank when it comes to points allowed. Starting with that, we do see that Timberwolves rank 11th, so they rank very well there. They rank a little bit worse in assists, ranking 22nd, and then rebounds, they rank 13th. So they rank very well in points and rebounds, a little bit worse in assists, but coming into this one, we do very much actually like, the under for someone like Tim Hardaway Jr., strictly just for the points and rebounds department. Now, a big reason being for that is that Timberwolves do rank very well in those two categories. But what we also do see is that when it comes to actually, Tim Hardaway Jr., he is a guard, and Timberwolves actually do a fantastic job at restricting those two categories as well to the guard position. So for that reason, we do very much like the actual, under for this situation for both of those categories. Now, looking at someone like Tim Hardaway Jr., what we also have seen is that when it comes to actually, him playing for the Denver Nuggets, we have seen his usage rate be very, I would say, unpredictable. And it is because, obviously, he isn't the main player for this team. So since he isn't the main player, we have seen a lot of times where Tim Hardaway Jr. does take a little bit of a backseat, takes a little bit more of a different type of role, and it does definitely affect him greatly. So that's why coming into this next one, we do very much like the actual under for someone like him in a matchup against the Timberwolves. And looking at both these teams, Nuggets and Timberwolves, both aren't really the super fastest paced team, and that's why coming into this matchup, we do very much like the under for it. So looking at Tim Hardaway over the last 5 games, we do see some pretty interesting things. We saw in the 6th, faced off against Miami, had a 122-112 win with 18 points, 3 rebounds, 0 assists there. Then on the 8th, faced off against Golden State Warriors, had a 129-104 win with 7 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds there. Then on the 9th, faced off against Indiana, had a 117-100 win with 17 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. On the 12th, faced off against Sacramento, had a 122-108 win with 6 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds there. And then on the 13th, faced off against LA Clippers, had 12 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound there. Now, when we actually look at Tim Hardaway Jr., we do actually see that Tim Hardaway Jr., has been playing great at times, but, we obviously do see when it does come against tougher teams, he definitely does struggle, and a lot of the other main players start to do a lot more of the scoring, playmaking, rebounding, all sorts. So coming into this one, like I said, focus a little bit more on points and assists, but overall, we definitely see him going on the under. So keep an eye out for his line. As I've always mentioned, if the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under.